Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. No beauty shines brighter than a healthy heart. Assalamu alaikum everyone. I'm Dr. Mahnur Khan and I'm practicing community medicine under my kind supervisor, Professor Dr. Saira Ausar. Today I'm going to present a non-communicable disease portion, the coronary heart disease. Learning outline in this presentation, I gonna introduce you regarding the coronary artery diseases, their risk factors, their level of preventions, programs which are working nowadays, and at the end we're gonna discuss the recent updates and MCQ portion. At the end of presentation, participants will be able to describe about coronary heart diseases, level of prevention, and risk factors. So coronary heart disease is also known as ischemic heart disease, has been defined as impairment of heart function due to inadequate blood flow to the heart compared to its needs caused by obstructive changes in the coronary circulation to the heart. Here we can see there is a coronary artery. When it's lying, get damaged, then their fatty matter starts to accumulate, and then it converted into plaque, and ultimately platelets come there and make a clot and leads towards a blockage, and ultimately there's gonna be a coronary heart disease. What is heart attack? A heart attack, also known as myocardial infarction, happens when a part of heart muscle doesn't get enough blood. The more time that passes without treatment to restore blood flow, the greater the damage to the heart muscle. Coronary artery diseases is the main cause of heart attack. A less common cause is severe spasm or sudden contraction or coronary artery that can stop blood flow to the heart muscle. How the patient present, it can be present as angina pectoris on effort, like patient will present a heart pain on exerting. There could be myocardial infarction, irregularities of heart rhythms, and cardiac failure. Ultimately, there could be sudden death. In symptoms, chest discomfort describes as heaviness, tightness, pressure, aching, burning, numbness, fullness, squeezing, or a dull ache. The discomfort can also spread to or only be felt in your left shoulder, arm, neck, back, or jaw. Patient can feel tired, dizziness, nausea, or weakness. This diagram also shows the symptoms of heart diseases. There we can see the dizziness, pale skin, arrhythmias, nausea, sweating, chest pain, and difficulty in breathing. 17.9% people die each year from coronary vascular diseases, and estimated 32% of all deaths worldwide. More than 75% of cardiovascular deaths occur in low and middle income countries. 85% of all SVT deaths are due to heart attack and stroke. Now we're going to discuss the level of prevention. As we know, the first one is primordial prevention. There could be, which includes the non-modifiable risk factor and modifiable risk factor. In non-modifiable risk factor, there are ethnicity, age, gender, which couldn't be modified. And in modifiable risk factor, there are abdominal obesity, high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, psychological factors, and smoking. In primordial prevention, which is the first step in treating coronary artery diseases, is to reduce your skin factor, your risk factor. This involves making changes in your lifestyles, like you shouldn't smoke, should manage health problem like high cholesterol, high blood pressure, and diabetes, should eat a healthy diet, like you should consult your nutritionist, your healthcare provider, and should use DASH diet, whereas the diet which reduces the hypertension. Should limit the alcohol use, should increase the activity level. There should be exercises and physical exertion, etc. dietary goal which should be followed for a hypertensive patient or for patient with cardiovascular disease is to use prudent diet. What is the prudent diet? That dietary fat should be limited to 15 to 30% of total dietary intake. Sources rich in fats and alcohol should be restricted. Saturated fats should contribute less than 10% of total energy intake. Excessive consumption of refined carbohydrates should be avoided. Protein should be approximately 10 to 15% of the daily intake. Salt intake reduction should be less than 5 gram per day. Junk foods such as colas, ketchup, and other food that supply empty calories should be reduced. Next step is primary prevention. They're going to be health, education, high risk approach, and population based approach. In secondary prevention, early diagnosis and proper treatment is done. Intervention focus on early diagnosis are to reduce the impact of cardiovascular diseases prior to any critical or permanent damage. Here are the investigation which are done to screen and to investigate a cardiac patient. In first column, we gonna see the test list, and in second column, we're gonna what we interpret from it. The first one is EKG or ECG. It measures the electrical activity, rate, and regularity of heart. Echocardiogram, ultrasound uh, uses ultrasound to picture the heart. Exercise stress test measures your heart rate while you walk on a treadmill. That helps in determining how well your heart is working when you are exerting. Chest X-ray uses X-ray to create a picture of heart, lung, or other organs in the chest. Cardiac catheterization checks the inside of your arteries for blockage by inserting a thin, flexible, and thorough artery in the groin, arm, or neck. Reach the heart, where we can, watch the heart directly. Coronary angiogram monitors background, monitors blockage and flow of blood flow through coronary arteries, uses X-ray to detect dye injected via cardiac catheterization. Coronary artery calcium scan, CT scan looks in coronary arteries for calcium buildup and plaques. Last level prevention is tertiary prevention when disease is there, targets people who are already affected by cardiovascular disease and who are already experiencing long-term effects, and aim to increase the expectancy of their life, improve quality of life. It usually involves major procedures to prevent recurrent symptoms, further deterioration of the disease, and subsequent cardiovascular events. This include coronary angioplasty, stenting, bypass surgery, pacemakers, etc. Cardiac rehabilitation is a supervised program that includes physical activity, education about healthy living, including healthy eating, taking measures as prescribed, ways to help to quit smoking, counseling to find ways to relieve stress and improve mental health. Birmingham Heart Study. This is a long-term ongoing study. Its design is cohort study, and it is done on the residents of Birmingham. The study began in 1948 with 5,000 adults subjected from the Birmingham and is now on its third generation of participants. Prior to the study, almost nothing was known about the epidemiology of hypertensive or atherosclerotic cardiovascular diseases. Much of now common knowledge concerning heart disease, such as effects of diet, exercise, common medications such as aspirin, is based on longitudinal study. The original cohort was found for this study in 1948. The offspring cohort founded in 1971 and was the second generation. The Omni 1 cohort founded in 1994 looked at the possible influence of race and heritage as heart risk factor. The Generation 3 cohort founded in 2002 was a third generation study consisting of children of the offspring cohort of grandchildren of the original cohort participant. which were taken in 1948. The Omni 2 cohort, found in 2003, was second generation study involving children or Omni cohort participants. The Stanford three community study. It was done to determine whether community health education can reduce the risk of cardiovascular diseases or not. A field experiment was undertaken in 1972 in three northern California towns with population varying between 12,000 to 15,000. In two of these towns, intensive mass education campaign were conducted against the cardiovascular risk factor over a period of 2 years. The third community served as control. In control community, the risk of cardiovascular disease increased over the 2 years, but in intervention communities, there was a substantial and sustained decrease in risk factor. Multiple risk factor interventional trials were done. USA was aimed to high-risk adult males aged 35 to 57 years. A total of 13,000 men who showed no evidence either clinically or on ECG were enrolled for study. How half of this group was randomly allocated to an intensive intervention program. The other half received a medical examination once yearly, and no specific advice was given to them about the control of risk factors. The intervention procedure included cessation of smoking, controlling blood pressure, and altering diet to reduce hypercholesterolemia. Over the 7 follow-up period, ischemic heart disease mortality was reduced by 22%, more in interventional group, but this was not statistically significant. Non-communicable diseases across the SDGs are called for an integrated approach. Non-communicable diseases, this include the non-communicable diseases in 2030 agenda. It affirms that non-communicable diseases are priority for substantial developmental goals. It is now imperative that government act on their commitments on NCDs and health more broadly. NCDs include cardiovascular diseases, cancer, diabetes, chronic respiratory disease, and mental and neurological disorder account for 68% of global mortality. More than 40% of these deaths were premature deaths under the age of 70, and two of these were in low and middle income countries. Mortality among people in their most productive year has significant effect on economic development and can undermine progress. The project cumulative loss output due to non-communicable diseases in lower and middle income countries is 7 trillion US dollar. This is for overweights that estimated 11.2 billion US dollar cost of implementing a set of high impact and cost effective interventions to reduce the burden of non-communicable diseases. Global Action Plan 2013 to 2020, non-communicable diseases are also part of it. 9 targets are there for the year 2025 that successful implementation of the Global Action Plan will contribute to establish 80% availability of affordable technology and medicine to treat non-communicable diseases, ensure that 50% of people receive preventive therapy for heart attack and stroke, halt and rise in diabetes and obesity, 30% reduction in salt intake and 10% reduction in the harmful use of alcohol, 25% reduction in prevalence of high blood pressure, 30% reduction in tobacco use, 10% reduction in prevalence of insufficient physical activity, 25% reduction in premature deaths of people aged 30 to 70 from cardiovascular diseases, cancer, diabetes, or chronic respiratory diseases. National Action Plan for Preventive and Control of Non-Communicable Diseases and Health Promotion in Pakistan. Pakistan is the part of an ethnic group known to have one of the highest prevalence of coronary artery diseases throughout the world. Observational studies dating back to the early 1960s in Pakistan reported an increase in the number of patients hospitalized for manifestation of coronary artery disease. In spite of this realization, no significant attempts have been made to study this pattern population. Presently, there are sent data on coronary artery diseases prevalence and none of the incidents. The WHS stepwise approach to surveillance of non-communicable diseases. WHS stepwise approach to NCD's risk factor surveillance is the simple standard method for collecting, analyzing, and disseminating data on key of NCD's risk factors in countries. The survey instrument covers key behavioral risk factor, tobacco use, alcohol use, physical inactivity, and healthy diet, as well as key biological risk factor, overweight and obesity, raised blood pressure, raised blood glucose, and abnormal blood lipids. In stepwise approach, there are three steps. The step one is self-reporting, step two is physical, and step three is biochemical. In step one, socioeconomic and demographic variables, year of education, tobacco, alcohol use, physical inactivity, ethnicity, education, household, and other health-related behaviors, mental health, disability, injuries are included. In step two, which is comprehend the physical core, measures the weight, height, waist circumference, blood pressure, hip circumference, pulse rate, etc. In step three, we assess with the biochemical method, like we check the fasting blood sugar, total cholesterol, high density cholesterol, etc. Now we will discuss the recent updates. The first study is entitled as Coronary Artery Disease Epidemic in Pakistan, more electrocardiographic evidence of ischemia in women than in men. Indo-Pakistani population have one of the highest risk of coronary artery disease in the world. The population-based cross-sectional study survey was conducted in almost 3,000 adults who were aged more than 40 years from randomly selected communities in Karachi, in Pakistan. Apart from smoking, women had more coronary artery diseases, risk factor like diabetes, hypertension, obesity, dyslipidemia than men. Definite coronary artery diseases history and Q waves on ECG was more prevalent in men than in women. In contrast, ischemic and mature ECG changes were twice as prevalent in women as in men. All measures of coronary artery disease were strongly predicted by metabolic syndrome, but that failed to account for the greatest prevalence of ECG abnormalities in women than in men. The finding indicate that one of the five middle-aged adults in urban Pakistan may have underlying coronary artery diseases. Women are at greater risk than men. Here's the second study, which is entitled as like prevalence of risk factor for non-communicable diseases in adults. Key findings from the Pakistan STEP survey. Pakistan lacked data on prevalence of risk factor of common non-communicable diseases. This study aimed to determine the prevalence of risk factor of NCD among a population-based sample in Punjab and Sindh. Uh, the prevalence of tobacco use was 19.7%. The majority of respondents consumed fewer than 5 servings of fruits, vegetable a day. 41.5% had a low level of physical activity, 26.3% were overweight, and 14.9% were obese. The prevalence of stage 1 and stage 2 hypertension, including those on medication, was 37% and 15.9 uh, were occupation, but not by age group. P-value was 0.118. Level of education. The high prevalence of non-communicable diseases risk factor in Punjab and Sindh provinces is of concern. Urgent public health interventions are needed to reduce them, especially in youth and young adults. Here's the general, percentages of diseases in Pakistan. 29%. The mortality is due to cardiovascular diseases, and 8% due to cancer. 5% is due to chronic respiratory diseases. 3% is due to diabetes, and 12% due to some other non-communicable diseases. 35% mortality is due to communicable maternal, perinatal, and nutritional condition, and 7% is due to injuries. And it shows the data from 2000 to 2025. Here's a third study which entitled as the effect of life events and social isolation on stroke and coronary heart diseases. The coronavirus pandemic represents a severe life-changing event for people across the world. Many people suffer from social isolation due to lockdown or physical distancing, especially those living alone and without family. This article reviews the association of life events and social isolation with cardiovascular diseases, assembling the current state of knowledge for stroke and coronary heart diseases. Furthermore, groups with increased vulnerability of coronary cardiovascular diseases following the life event and social isolation were identified. Now we're gonna discuss the MCQs. MCQ number 1 is physical activity can lower the risk of coronary heart disease. How much exercises each week is recommended to help prevent heart diseases? A, 30 minutes at least for 5 days a week. B, 30 minutes at least for 7 days a week. C, 50 minutes at least 5 days a week. D, 50 minutes at least 7 days a week. And E, 15 minutes at least 7 days a week. Anyone?
A.
Yes, the answer is A, 30 minutes at least 5 days a week. MCQ number 2, which of the following best reflects the evidence on eating a reduced or modified fat diet for primary prevention of cardiovascular diseases? A, there is no evidence at all that such a diet is associated with a reduction in cardiovascular events. B, there is some evidence that such a diet is associated with a reduction in cardiovascular event, but not with a reduction in all cause mortality. C, there's good evidence that such a diet is associated with a reduction in cardiovascular events and a reduction in all the cause mortality. D, there is no evidence that such a diet is associated with a reduction in cardiovascular events and a reduction in all cause mortality. E, there is really evidence that such a diet is associated with reduction in cardiovascular events, but not with reduction in all cause mortality.
D.
Answer is C, there is good evidence that diet is associated with reduction in cardiovascular events and a reduction in all causes mortality. MCQ number 3, the modifiable risk factor associated with coronary artery disease is A, age, B, obesity, C, hereditary, D, gender, E, genetics.
B.
Yes, answer is B. Obesity is modifiable. MCQ number 4, to decrease the incidence of coronary disease, stroke, and other non-communicable diseases, WHO has developed prudent diet guidelines. Have been developed. Which of the following is not correct about the prudent diet? A, dietary fat should be limited to 15 to 30% of total daily intake. B, saturated fat should be contribute less than 10% of total energy intake. C, excessive consumption of refined carbohydrates should be avoided. D, protein should be approximately 10 to 15% of the daily intake. E, salt intake reduced to less than 9 grams per day.
E.
Yes, answer is C. MCQ number 5, Birmingham Heart Study has been doing to identify risk factor for coronary heart diseases. This study is a case control study, B, cohort study, E, ecological study, D, cross-sectional study, E, randomized control trial. This is the first study which was done for to identify the risk factor for coronary artery diseases. Answer is B, cohort study. MCQ number 6, recommended fat according to protein diet guideline is uh, less than 30 to 45%, less than 50 to 100%. C is less than 15 to 30%. D is less than 0 to 10%. E is less than 0.05%.
C.
Yes, answer is C, C, less than 13 to 30%. MCQ number 7, according to WHO STEP approach for identifying risk factor of NCDs, non-communicable diseases, socio-demographic variables, smoking and alcohol intake are included in A, step 1, B, step 2, C, step 3, D, step 4, E, step 5. Answer is A. Step 1, smoking and alcohol are included in that. MCQ number 8, non-modifiable risk factor for cardiovascular disease is A, raised systolic blood pressure, B, smoking, C, previous history of coronary heart diseases, D, raised low density lipoproteins, E, obesity.
C.
Answer is C, previous history of coronary heart diseases. It is not modifiable. बाकी सारे जो हैं वो हमारे पास all others are modifiable. MCQ number 9, which of the following indices can be used to measure burden of coronary heart diseases? A, secondary attack rate, B, case fatality rate, C, incidence and prevalence of coronary heart diseases, D, proportionate mortality rate, E, blood pressure. Answer is C, incidences and prevalence of coronary heart diseases. MCQ number 10, a 5-year-old male presented in ER with chest pain radiating to left arm with wetting. On further inquiry, the patient is hypertensive from 10 years. The most likely diagnosis is A, rheumatic fever, B, stroke, C, myocardial infarction, D, heart failure, E, infective endocarditis.
C.
Yes, answer is C. Here's the key. These are the references. And here's our YouTube channel link. Kindly like and subscribe. Thank you.